Hello. So I haven't made a video in a while, but today I want to talk about my job and why I like it so much. So I'm a substitute teacher and I work mainly with high school students. That's my favorite level to work with. And this is why. So today I got put in a class that doesn't have a teacher, so I could potentially be there long term, and it's an English class. Um, and the class has been terrible. They have gone through like 4 subs, and one teacher quit, left yesterday, and it's just been a big mess. So I got there today, and everyone is warning me like, "Good luck," blah blah blah, telling me how whatever about how the kids have been, and I'm like, okay. And I'm completely not intimidated or worried at all because I work at the same school all the time, and it's all about having a rapport with the students. So anyway, it's an English class, and my son is putting a mint in my mouth. I don't know if he's trying to tell me something or what. So it's about having a rapport with the students, and it's an English class. So today we're reading a little packet about refugees and stories, a letter from one refugee to another, one young refugee. And so I asked the class, what is a refugee? And then I asked them what current event or what's going on currently that they can relate to this letter from one refugee to another with refugees. And so a few of the students knew, so they brought up Syria and that situation. And I love when we can talk about current events and it's like these great teachable moments. So the packet is about refugees, but I got to like expand. So we talked about refugees. Okay. Okay, you were doing something you shouldn't have been doing. We talked about refugees and the Syrian refugees, and I asked what is the common sentiment or a common sentiment from many Americans about the Syrian refugees. And so the students said, well, some people are not open to it or not open-minded. They don't want them here. And I said, why not? And some people said stereotypes, some people said racism and different things like that. And I said, okay, stereotypes, what do you mean by stereotypes? And they're like, well, people think that they're terrorists. And I said, okay, why do people think they're terrorists? And they said because of Islam, because they're Muslim. And I said, well, why do we equate Muslims or Islam with terrorism? And they're like, because people think that they bomb people. And I said, okay, now tell me if that makes sense. Do people equate Christianity with terrorism? And they said no. Why? Or some of the kids were like shocked and kind of offended. Why? And I'm like, think about this. When Columbus got here, there were people here already, right? There were natives here. What was the religion of the Europeans when they came? Right? And they said, move, Pharaoh. And they said, Christianity. And I said, right. But when has Christianity in history ever been associated with terrorism? And they said, never. I said, but what did they do when they got here? What did those people do when they got to this country? And they said they terrorized, they murdered people, they slaughtered people, they destroyed an entire group of people almost, and they stole their land. And I said, is that not terrorism? And they said, yes. And I said, exactly. So can we just say that Muslims and Islam is associated with terrorism or is equals terrorism? No. I said, of course, there are some Islamic terrorists and terrorist groups. But do you know how large Islam is? How many people are Muslim? So to say that Muslims are terrorists, it's absurd. Just like saying that Christians are terrorists, it's absurd. There are some Christian terrorists. We have the KKK and different groups, and those people are Christian. We had slave masters. But can we walk around saying that because of that Christians are terrorists, or because of that all Christians are racist or anything like that? No, we can't say that. And I said, so you have to be careful what the media shows you. It shapes you things on purpose. And I love to have these dialogues with my students because they're in high school. And this is like a rough school, one of the, roughest schools in San Diego. But the kids get it, and we have these awesome dialogues and conversations, and it makes me so happy. So one of the girls is like, well, yeah, that would be like saying that we don't want any white kids to come to our school in our classroom because they're going to shoot us up. Or we don't want to be in the movie theater with a white person because they're going to shoot us up. And I said, exactly. For some reason, when you are not white and you do something, you are representative of your entire group. Meaning, if you're black and you commit a crime, black people commit crimes, black men are scary. If you're Mexican and you commit a crime, Mexican people are scary. They commit crimes, they sell drugs, blah, blah, blah. But when you're white, it's isolated incident, and it's probably because of mental illness or something like that. Something is wrong with you, but it doesn't reflect your entire group. And I said, well, what about us? Because when we do something wrong, it reflects all of us. And the kids get it, and they love it, and I love it. That's why I like working with students of melanin. The majority of my students are melanated students, teenagers, and I love, love, love it. I love to make these connections with them and for them, and to have this type of dialogue. And it makes my day. It makes me so, so, so happy. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say about why I love my job, why I love teaching. Subbing too, because I don't gotta stay with the same class forever. I like it and I love to, especially the tough classes actually turn out to be the ones that you love the most sometimes. But I'm not stuck with them forever. That's all. Bye.